Hello, how are you doing? How is everyone today? My name is Jasmine Hayes. I am 22 years old. I'm a first grade teacher at John H. May Elementary School. Hey kids, how y'all doing? Let's think. I'm Jasmine. I work at a school. Recently just graduated from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, class of 2018. And I think that's about it. I'm a singer. Throw that one in there, all right? To be cozy just means to be comfortable. Be comfortable in your skin, have an open mind. Don't care about what anybody else has to say. At the end of the day, who's living your life? No one but you. Everything you do, whether it's good or bad, someone's gonna have something to say about it. You could walk down the street, help somebody with their groceries. Someone's gonna be like, why are you helping them with their groceries? Or someone's gonna be like, good thing you helped them with your groceries. It doesn't really matter, guys. Do you, okay? That's what be cozy means. Do you. Don't worry about anyone else. Now, let's think about what does it mean when people hear Jasmine Hayes. I'm Jasmine Hayes, by the way. When people think about me, I just think that they think about my loving spirit, my joyful spirit. Definitely that I'm loud. I get that a lot. Jasmine, the loud one? Yeah, that's me. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. But I definitely think people think of me, you know, as a person who's very loyal, very stern. I don't have that. If you're in my circle, I got you. So y'all better watch out, by the way. But also that, you know, I'm very goofy. You know, I'm all over the place. Also, I sing a lot. If I could, I'd probably sing my name. I'd probably sing my date. You know, the date. I'd probably sing the day I was born. Everything. Jasmine is just a goofy, outgoing, always happy. You probably never see me angry, and if you do, it's not good. But other than that, just a joyful spirit. So I've let you all know that I can sing. Definitely, I can sing. I was gifted. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. But I grew up in the church my entire life. Everything. But also, I stayed in trouble as a child, so it was school, church, home. That's all I did. So growing up in a church, it was beautiful. There were so many people around me that were mentoring me and didn't even know that they were mentoring me. There were so many people that played it so much inside of me, and they was just trying to help and didn't even know what was going to happen. Like what was, you know, what was I gonna do? You know, what was gonna happen in the future for Jasmine? It wasn't like, not to say they didn't think about it, but at the time, they just knew that they wanted to help. They knew that they wanted to just reach out and figure out who this young lady was. And like I said before, I'm just very energetic, very all over the place. So growing up in church was literally a dream come true. It was, and I go to a very big church, Ebenezer and Me for Watching in Maryland, under the leadership of Pastor Joanne and Granger Browning. Love them. But it's just a really big church. It's a lot of people. So it's like, I didn't need to go anywhere else other than church, school, and home. So it was beautiful. Growing up, I sang in the choir. I was in the children's choir, the youth choir. Now I'm in the young adult choir. So I've been singing forever. One of my favorite memories from my church, my freshman year to my senior year in high school, Ty Tripper was my choir director, and I loved it. And it wasn't just because he was Ty, but it was because before every rehearsal, before we actually sang, we would go over what the words meant. What were we singing about? What was it that we were trying to go out here and minister to other people? We had to understand and actually live by what we sang. So that helped me a lot because it just showed me, you know, the bigger picture of what we were doing. And it was great. And my family, we all came to church together. We were deep. It was me, my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother. And we were a big family, okay? So we came in looking like we was here for something, okay? So it was just beautiful. It was nice. It's a great time. All right, so growing up in church was beautiful. Loved it. And it was one day, I used to also be in a lot of different ministries. I was in the security ministry, dance ministry. I was in the choir. I was on the step team, YPD, literally everything you can think of in church, I was there. So we were at a step performance one day at another church, And we finished stepping, and the step scene, we were sitting in the crowd, the audience, getting ready for the sermon, and we were actually sitting next to our pastors. Our pastors came to support us that day. So we're talking and just, conversing in the crowd. And when we left, my mom was with us. So it was me, my mom, my sister, and my brother. Not only me and my sister stepped. My brother, he wasn't on the step team. He just came to support. So when we left church, we were getting ready to go out to eat. My mom just wanted to go out to eat. She likes to celebrate a lot. So my dad was supposed to pick up my sister, but he didn't that day. And my mom just assumed, he was working hard. So she went to go get her, and we went to church. So after we get ready to go out to eat, and my dad wasn't answering the phone. So we went home to go see if he was home, and he wasn't home. And my brother decided that he didn't want to go out to eat anymore. He just wanted to stay home. So we let him stay home, and my mom, me, and my sister, we decided that we would go see where my dad was if he was at his office. So we went to his office, and when we drove in, something in my spirit it was a little shaky. Now, back then of the day, I didn't really know that was my spirit talking to me. I just, thought it was like some goosebumps or something. So we go in, and my dad was the CEO of his own company, so he put in football fields. So where he worked, it was enough land to have tractors and barns and equipment. So it was rocks. So we came in on the rocks. We parked in front of the building, and my mom picked up some rocks, and she's throwing it at the window because we can see his car there and the lights on. So she's throwing the rocks at the window, just playing like old days. So we drive around the back of the building because I guess he didn't come out the front, and the back door was wide open. And me, my brother, and my sister had worked with my father over the summer, so we knew that something just wasn't right. So I told my mom, I said, Mom, we'll just come back in the car, we'll just leave and figure out what to do. And so she got back in the car, and on our way passing the building that he was in, it was a trailer next door to it, and it was a man laying outside dead. It was, well, I guess I'm not gonna say his name. It was a man outside laying there dead, and I could see him because I was in the back seat. My mom was in the front seat, and so was my sister. So she's like, "Is it your dad? Is it your dad?" I'm like, "No, I can see him. It's not him. It's someone else." But I knew who the man was because he worked with my dad. Recently, he had came back to work with my dad. I think he was released a while ago because he had anger issues. But my dad accepted him back. He didn't have a home, and I guess his family wasn't that close, so my dad gave him a trailer next to where they worked so that he could be, mobile when it came to work. Also, so he had a place to lay his head. So we leave, and we called the police. And the police came, and it was so much land that they had to make sure that the land was good before they could even go inside of the house. So by the time they really went in the house, they had already asked us to go home and everything, just to wait to see what was going on. So later that evening, they came to our house, and they let my mother know that the man that was outside, they don't really know exactly what happened, but he came inside, shot my dad in his face, came back outside, and then shot himself after. So they don't really know exactly why or what happened. It was on a Friday, so people, just assuming that payday, we don't really know the reason. After that, things really changed. I saw my mom literally fall down the wall and just, let herself go as she cried. And that moment, I knew I was going to have to step up. I knew that something was going to have to happen, because if it wasn't, what were we going to do? So after that, things got rough. But for me, it was more so, I knew that I had to get myself together. It wasn't like, I was sad or angry or anything. It was just, it was something placed inside of me. The moment I saw my mother cry, that I knew I had to get it together. I knew that all the stuff that I was doing had to stop. I knew everything that I thought that I was going to do that wasn't, I was supposed to be doing, I couldn't do it because I had an obligation to my family. Shortly, like 2 weeks after everything happened, things just kind of went left in the household. Everyone's angry, everyone's upset. So our relationship, it wasn't as strong as it was when my dad was here, of course. I know it was very hard for my mother. My mom, I know she didn't really want kids, but when she met my dad, things happened. So a beautiful family was created. And to now have the man that you were with taken away, and also that was my mom's first everything. So it's like, for her, Lord. And my mom actually wrote a post maybe this year, about my dad and everything that happened. And my dad passed away in 2011. So 2011 to 2018, it's been a long time coming. But I just thank God that everything's better. But the title of her article or her post was, "My husband was murdered, but Lord, you promised." And it was beautiful, but it just showed me every single thing from my mom's view. It showed me every single thing that she was going through from her view. Now, I knew these things because I felt them. I was one of the children that, you know, she would close the door on because she had to get herself together, but she didn't want her kids to see that. She had to make sure she was strong, but she wanted her kids to also know that she had them. So to read the article, it really opened my eyes to see where my mother was in that season, where she was in that time. And, you know, I just understood everything that was going on. And it was hard. It was really hard, especially I think because my dad was the rock. Not to say, you know, my mom is just over the top, but we all know how moms are. They're moms. Got to make sure everything's good. If something happens, that's just one more thing on their plate, you know. Even though you don't want them to handle it, "Mom, I got this," as your mother, they're going to put it on their list of things to do because they feel as though that's their obligation because you are their child. So for my mom, things, you know, they've gotten so much better, and I'm very excited. I'm very happy to see, you know, the doors that God is opening and the things that he can do, because most of the time when a death happens, it's looked at, you know, as the worst thing ever. But for me, somewhere along the line in my college life, I gained peace. Peace that surpasses all of my understanding. I cannot explain where it came from. All I know is that I understand that what God had to do, what my father had to do, he did. And to be absent from your body is to be present with the Lord. So if you're not here, we should be rejoicing because that means you're with the Lord. So somewhere inside of me, I had to, you know, just sit with that. Also, I experienced more death along the way in my college experience. But when it first happened, I was always a fighter. I know I don't fight anymore. Don't put your hands on people. Also don't want to go to jail. Hallelujah. But when I was young, I used to be a fighter. And it was funny because even after my dad passed, I didn't even fight that much. But I realized that when I did fight, it was because I don't do disrespect. If you feel like you're going to disrespect me or anybody that's with me, it's not happening. It's not happening. Also because my dad, he was the king of, I don't play that. He just didn't. Anything that needed to be handled, he handled it. And it wasn't like he handled it to the extremes. He handled it as calm as he could, but we understood that don't play because it's not something to be played with. So going into college, I had my group of friends, and as I said, my group of, let me say this, friends, and I could just see that a lot of times I was fighting for so many people that wouldn't do the same for me. I had so many people's back. I was a big and bad guy people came to get so that, you know, I would have their back. But I had to step back and realize, Jasmine, what are these people doing for you? Are they helping you? Are they pouring into you? Are they, you know, are they showing fruits? And when I say fruits, I mean fruits of the Spirit. Are they loving? Are they kind? You know, what's getting them into these situations that they had to even get this far? And you're not even involved in it, but because you love them so much, you're going to just go for it. So, you know, a part of me just had to stop back and look and just examine things. Also, I got suspended my very first semester in college, the entire semester. It took a big toll on me because for my mom, it's like, I know I didn't send you to this college for you to go up here and act like you ain't had no sense, waste my money, and now you're gone? You got to leave school? And it took a big toll on me because I had to go back home. I had to hear my mom, you know, complain about everything we've already been through for me to get to college to be suspended. Ooh, it breaks my heart even saying it. So it was a lot that I had to get myself together. You know, I had to get it all together because it was already a lot going on in my family. It was already a lot going on in my life. But after I came back from my freshman year, I got things together. Not to mention that when I went to school my freshman year of college, I went to choir rehearsal. I said, you know what, it's Thirsty Thursday. I don't understand, Lord, why I'm up here in the choir room singing when I need to be out partying, getting my life, you know. I told you, at home I went to school, church, and home. Did I say home? Home, school, church, work, home, school. I ain't worked in home, church, school. There it is, home, school, church. That's what it was. So I didn't do anything else. I didn't get to do anything. So when I went to college, please, there was nothing you could tell me. I was grown. I was doing it. Ooh, I stopped going to choir rehearsal. And it just so happens that the day that I was actually fighting was on a Thursday. Should have took my behind to choir rehearsal. Got suspended. Also, the people who were on my side weren't really on my side. Everybody was saying Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. The people who pressed charges on me, Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. But the group that I thought that I had, that I fought for, they also were saying Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. And it just so happens that my Rev knew someone at my school. And she just let me know, like, you got to understand, baby, everybody's not your friend. You're out here fighting for all these people, but they're in here telling me you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. They're not saying anything on their part. They're just saying Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. And it really just took me out of here because I'm like, I'm here defending you all, and you all just turn your back on me. So it was a big lesson for me all over. So when I came back, you best believe your girl was in choir. I didn't leave choir. I was there Monday and Thursdays, any rehearsal, anytime we had a minister, I was there. But I graduated school on time. Three semesters and maybe like one extra semester. Oh, 3 years, I apologize. 3 years and one extra semester. And I graduated with 3.1 GPA. And it was just like my whole college career, I just grew, and I feel like I spiritually matured, and just understanding that there's always a bigger picture. What can be done other than violence? What can be done other than, judging someone? What can be done other than, being angry? And another thing I think that sat with me was the fact that the man that did take my father's life was angry. He acted out of anger. He didn't think about it. He met his kids, but didn't think twice about his kids when he did what he did. He came to our house for, holidays and stuff to eat with the family, but you didn't think about that when you did what you did, because anger, it literally takes over. You don't have time to stop and think about anything, which is what sat with me. So I had to think, down the line, what can you do to resolve this situation before it goes further? What can you do to prevent anything from happening, or for you doing anything that can change your entire life just because of one moment? So, y'all, I could really get it right now and give you a good shout, because to just see everything that I've been through in my life, the things that I never thought that I would accomplish, that I did, on top of losing my dad, And it's crazy because I'm now, like I said, a school teacher, first grade, and I have so many people who do not have their fathers in their lives, and you can see it in their characteristics. You can see it in, the way they treat people. You can see it in the way that they interact with men and women. So for me to be able to say it's okay because I don't have my father, and for them to see me the way that I am, it gives them hope. It pushes them to understand that no matter what happens in life, even if you don't have someone who's very key to you, or, a role model in your life, you're still going to make it because God's going to make it happen. And also, if something happens, everyone, pray about it. Ask the Lord, what is it that you want me to see in this season? What is it that you have for me in this season? What is it that you're trying to teach me? What is it that you're trying to mold me into for me to understand or be ready for? And I realized that all of this, he's making me to give me something. And if he gives me what he's making me, to have later on in the future, I'm going to destroy it. Whatever he's getting ready to bless me with, if he gives it to me right now, I'm going to ruin it. If he gave it to me back then, I was going to ruin it. He has to make me into something in order to give me what it is that he's going to give me. But when he gives it to me, I'm going to be so ready, so set, so filled with whatever he has given me to fill me up with, to be ready to do what I have to do. And I want everyone to understand that no matter what you go through, no matter what it is, try to make the best out of it, because at the end of the day, it's molding you. Because what you're going through, everything that has crushed you into what you are now, or has broken you into what you are now, is just so that God can give you something in the future. It's so that whatever it is that you're struggling with now, you're messing up, you won't mess up that one thing that God has for you, that you already know God has promised you. Now I'm going to take it back to my mom's article, and I'm going to wrap it up, because I could talk all day. If I could, I'd sit here, cross my leg, get my tea. We'll wrap it up, okay? Here we go. Lord, my husband was murdered, but Lord, you promised. And at the end of it, it was basically, we saw a rainbow. the day, I think after my father's funeral or of the day of my father's funeral, it was a rainbow. But the significance of a rainbow is God sent a rainbow to Noah, promising that he would never, ever, ever flood the entire earth again. Now, I know we had Hurricane Katrina. I know we had a few other people who stopped by, but is everyone on this earth gone? No. He promised that he would never flood this earth ever again, no matter how much evil or wickedness is on this earth, which there is a lot of. Hint, hint. Who our president? But at the end of the day, he promised that he would never do that. So if God can stick to that one promise, which is that he will not wipe this entire earth, why don't you think he'll promise? Why do you think that the promise to you is going to be any different? The promise of your job, the promise of, you going back to school, the promise that you will have kids, the promise that your financials will be, good. Those promises will come true. He hasn't flooded this earth. I'm still here. I'm pretty sure you're still here because you're watching me. Hey, how are you? So I just want everyone to understand that no matter what you go through, persevere. No matter what you go through, have divine determination. There's a difference between determination and divine determination. Divine determination is ordained by God. Divine determination is no matter what's going on, I have my faith. No matter what's going on, I live not by sight, but I walk by faith. So also, y'all, I just thank the Lord that he gave me this singing voice, because I've just realized that music, it really just, it does something to my soul. It like marinates it. And when I see, sometimes when I sing and I see how people react or how it touches certain people or even a smile, it changes people's day. Like, I've had people cry and say that they're thankful that I gave them a smile. And I'm like, that's so crazy what a smile can do, what a simple song can do, what a simple hug or a hello can do for someone who hasn't gotten that, who really just needed someone to say hello. Y'all, I could really go on and on because I feel it right now. I do. And, but at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we walk by faith and not by sight. We have to understand that God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. I'll say that one last time. God does not call the qualified. Hey, you qualified. I need you to do this. He qualifies you because you're called. Okay? And I think that's about it, I never thought that losing my father would really, turn into something like this. The story that my family has, the testimony that we have, that reaches out to so many more. It's really crazy. And it's crazy to say that because 2011 was when he died. It's now 2018. So much is different. So much has changed. My sister, my little sister, she has a full scholarship to Alabama State University. She's got almost straight A's her entire life. That girl on it. My brother now has a beautiful, beautiful son. His name is Graham Edmondson Hayes IV. My brother was the third and my dad was the second. So for my brother, I'm very proud of him because it's hard losing your father in high school. My father didn't get to see him graduate. So that's hard to not have your father to help you as you grow in life, but still be able to know the things that he planted in you, the legacy that you have inside of you because of what your father did show you, what you did see. Because some people don't have a father to even show them that. Some people didn't have a fatherly figure to even show them what men should be like, what men should do. So I'm happy that he had that, the opportunity to experience that. And he's doing it, taking care of his son, Everybody's good, and I'm just happy. I'm excited. I just can't wait to see what God's going to do. Also, 2018 is not over. I know God said he's going to promise a lot of us, a lot of things. It's only, December 29th, 20th, 22nd, 21st, 22nd, 22nd, 22nd. We got a lot of days left. Don't sleep on it. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Younger Jasmine, what would I tell you? Probably nothing. Because at the end of the day, if you hadn't done everything that you did, would you be here? Had you experienced everything that you experienced, would you be here? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd probably be here, but I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't at all, because if you don't go through anything, you just out here living life. You don't have any struggles. You don't have any downfalls. You don't have any worries. You're just living life. But if you go through life and almost everywhere you turn is something, that's something, and you're still here, you're still good, you're still smiling, so if I would have something to tell my young self, just keep doing what you're doing. Always, keep God first. Pray about it. And I wish, that's probably one thing I'd tell my young self. I'd have told myself, pray about it. A lot of times I went to other people because I didn't know I was going to pray about it. He is your answer. He is your comforter. He is your healing. Everything. My name is Jasmine Hayes, and remember, be cozy.
So I may serve thee, Lord, fix my heart so that I may be used by thee, for I'm not worthy